Daniel. It's a big tune, man. 104.5 Vibes Radio. Kiss Daniel and Empire. It's tracking into a cough. 10 minutes after 7. Karibu sana if you're just joining us. Kumbuko is a stream live on www.vibesradio.co.ke. My name is Kev Matara Otada, your local energy provider.
Most bankable host, Brian Aseli. Took on Daniel building.
Yes.
And the conversation is just about to get started.
Yeah, man.
I'll introduce and then we get into the agenda of the day.
Nakumbuka, guys, you can stream live. To copy our website on www.vibesradio.co.ke as well as on our Facebook and YouTube. To go live. Yes, that is at Vibes Radio KE. And right now, I'm very excited to have some very youthful leaders.
Yeah.
And they're very impactful. Wasikiliza sana, quoting them every other time, questioning them. And I'm very happy. Kwanza tuanze on our right, because this is an individual who's been on your screens for the longest time ever. Amepata position ingine mpya. And alisema vitu zingine wasa wakasema hapana maze, we're not joining, we're not merging, hapana. Bwana SG, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. My name is Honorable Senator Cleophas Malala.
Yes.
The Secretary General for the ruling party.
Hey.
Ruling party. You know, just an ordinary party. Ruling party.
How does it feel in your new role as a Secretary General? Were you prepared? Any challenges? Nini?
Yeah, of course.
Are you excited?
No, of course it's a very challenging role because we are getting into a party which has got a national outlook, a party which has got almost 9 million people. So leading 9 million people and giving them the right political direction. You know, leading is not the ultimate goal of a person. Leading requires you to have a vision for the people you are leading, so that you do not take your people to a ditch. Yesterday you saw what happened. The leader of that other faction took people into a ditch.
I like.
So you must always pray for wisdom. But just before I say anything, I want to say that today I wake up a very proud person.
Okay.
Because being hosted by one of my students.
Yeah.
I
first met Cleophas Malala when I was 14 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, we're pretty young. He was
Form
also
one.
equally a teenager by then.
Yeah, in Form 1.
Form 1.
I took him through all the way to Form 4. Then I went with him to the East Africa Media Institute. Taught him there theatre and arts.
Yeah.
And I want to admit here that he's quite a brilliant mind. And
must be very proud.
Very proud.
Thank you so much, man.
Karibu sana, Bwana SG.
Asante
And then, of course, on my left, another powerful and impactful young Kenyan man.
Actually shaking his head. Which part?
Robert, karibu sana.
Asante sana. My name is Robert Alai.
Yes,
I'm the MC of Kilelesha Award,
Perfect.
Nairobi County.
Unafeel aje this morning?
And the organizing secretary for Twitter.
But how's your energy? How is your energy generally? Unafeel aje?
Jana, first I want to thank my youth. You know, because Jana ground, I wish we did this before the election. I wish, because now they are too chied up. They want to remove Senator and his gang from State House. You know, we are just restraining them yesterday. You heard Baba going to TV and telling people that, please, it is peaceful. Please, we are not getting into State House. We are only giving them a message. You know, if there's anybody who did for them the work they were supposed to do, it is Baba. I have to appreciate that.
And I think that's a good conversation starter by this. So, unajua jana ilikuwa maandamano, of course, mass action. And personally, Brian, unakumkata nikikushow, nilikuwa nasema, hey, energy inakaiko down kiasi. The day started very, very low energy. Wase wakuwa tao sana. People were questioning whether we would match South Africa's energy. But all in all, Bwana Robert, if I could start with you, how can you assess the whole maandamano situation?
No, it was very impactful, because, you know,
was it a success from a
perspective? It was a success because, you know, the main business of this city, if you analyze this city well, the main business is within the CBD, Upper Hill, parts of Westlands. You know, this is the main movers of the economy. You know, the big boys of the economy, and most of it, 99% of it was shut down. I was in the CBD. In fact, the police were helping us shut down the city because they were not even allowing us to walk. If you are walking 2 or 3 people, tear gas. 2 or 3 people, tear gas. I think the strategy was, you see people starting to come together, ensure that they did.
Ulikuwa tao by the way?
Nilikuwa tao.
Ulingia tao sangapi?
Nilingia tao asubuhi, tulilala tao kwanza, because we thought they were going to lock tulilala tao. Because we thought they were going to lock us out of town. to realize the only people they managed to lock was supporters.
Yeah.
You see? But at least they gave us a new strategy now. Now we'll be going around, collect our supporters, then we come with them to town.
So I like you say that yesterday was a success.
Yes.
Na Honorable Malala anasema jana was not a success because you were driven into a ditch. So
Which ditch?
What's the ditch you're talking about, Senator Malala?
First of all, it's quite a pity that my good brother here says that yesterday was a success, and his measure is on the basis of them managing to close business. You know, first of all, if at all the ODM brigade had the intention of helping Kenyans, first they would have implemented what their leader had promised them the day before. One, they said they wanted to go to State House to deliver a petition. Yesterday, we did not see a single petition being delivered to the president. And as we were ready to receive the petition so that we share with them ideologies and ideas on how we can help Kenyans. Because ours is a serious business whereby we want to help Kenyans first reduce the cost of living, second to ensure that at least they are cushioned and they are cushioned with the constitution. But it's a pity that our good friends here yesterday did not manage even to send an SMS. Leave alone going to
But
State
in all
House.
fairness,
Just a moment,
State House
just a
was
moment.
blocked.
No, wait. They had said they are marching to State House.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm wondering, did they lack bundles? Because their Google map took them to Isili and Madare. You see,
State House iko
Alai,
wapi?
Yes.
Where is State House? Is your State House in Isili?
Yo.
And you see, these guys applied survival tactics in politics. They did not invest in any mobilization. They did not invest in anything, any political strategy. One, look at the South Africa demonstration. Very organized. In fact, the demonstrators with the police agreed on a working formula. You saw women sing. You saw majority of the people demonstrating in South Africa were women. That was a genuine demonstration. They were donning in the same colors. Police would identify demonstrators with the t-shirts they had put on. Look at Kenya yesterday. It was a good example of a chaotic scene. One, they did not mobilize even a single person. They mobilized themselves and slept in very expensive hotels instead of using that money to buy unga for their supporters. After they realized that they were unable to go to State House, they ended up into the informal sector, into the informal settlement, whereby naturally there are people there. You see, and then they chose constituencies where their tribe resides. Why didn't they go to Roysambu? Yeah. Why didn't they go to Kasarani?
Basically, it was a failure.
It was a total failure because it was, in fact, I'm very amazed this morning to realize that Raila Odinga has reduced himself into a tribal leader.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Because look, you know when you are surrounded by your clansmen, and then you end up into a constituency where your tribe resides. So that was just a clan meeting, a clan meeting in Madare, being addressed by the same people we know from the same region.
Sorry to cut you short.
It was no longer. Wait. It was no longer a national agenda because out of 47 counties, how many counties demonstrated?
Okay, so we'll get to that.
Only 2 places: Nairobi, Kisumu.
So hold it right there. Now, Robert,
where was Kwale County?
Yes.
Where was Malindi? Where was Wasingishu?
Bwana Robert, from your perspective, Vuluna Icheki, do you think the authorities, the police, wali handle kitu fiti?
You know, first I want to assure the Kenyans, you know, and even listeners here that Baba, if it was only Luos, it was left to the Luos, Baba would have not gone for Mandamano. But because others who feel, especially UDA supporters, they feel that they don't know this government. You know, when you have a new government in place, the first thing you have to do is that you have to be assured that that government, if there's a day it is going to do you wrong, you will have a voice to criticize it. But these people got into power telling people, sisi utucheze na mimi. mimi sio ule, unajua natisha watu. So we told them kwamba kama unatisha watu, chenye ufanye kwamba basi lazima tujue kwamba utafanya nini. Nikikuchokoza utakuja kuchukua bibi yangu, utachukua biashara yangu, utachukua kazi yangu, ama utanifanyia nini? You know, so what we are doing already is good for, especially for Uda supporters.
Closing business.
No, you see,
What are you
you
doing?
see, we gave you holiday.
No, what are
and
you
holiday
doing?
you have to close business.
No, they have an agenda, you can listen to what
on
is the
phones,
objective?
Let
on
Robert
phones,
finish.
on phones,
But
What
let
are
him
you talking
let him be thematic, huh? Not just general.
on phones. These guys ensured they took out all phones of our leaders using a Pegasus.
those are side shows. What was the objective of the maandamano?
Using a software called Pegasus. You know, supplied
So we
from
knew they were
Israel.
talking about
you
that.
know, they took out phones. Baba mpaka saizi ana simu.
But the question I asked you
Yes.
before I get back to SG, how do you think authorities walihandle kitu?
Walihandle vibaya.
Wakarao, unadhani walihandle fiti? That's the question I asked you.
You know, first 3-4 days before maandamano walionyesha kwamba wako ni cowards. Waka deploy malorries manini everywhere. You know, 2 kilometers from State House. So tulipiga kelele kwa social media, wakatoa hizi malori.
Lakini security haifai kukua. See, even South Africa
Unajua
malori.
yeah.
We'd like to know.
You know, security
We were
is not-
helping you.
Security
You know,
is not
the presence
physical.
of the police was
Security
helping
is
you.
not physical.
Yeah.
Security doesn't have to be physical. You don't have to deploy big machinery to show that you are secure. Jana hata hiyo security si walikuwa wanakimbia tu.
Sasa hold it right there. Now, Bwana SG, ukiangalia hii kitu ya maandamano, you know, maandamano has been happening since time immemorial in South Africa, in France, in Tunisia. Demonstrations are something that is something that the people usually use to put pressure on the government. Do you think Kenyans, when you walijitokeza, do you think their complaints about hiyo maneno ya hali ya maisha kukua ngumu sana, do you think it was actually taken seriously by the government based on maandamano ya jana?
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to commend our police force. Our police service was able to contain the people who they were not demonstrators. Those were mobilized hooligans, looters. Yes, you saw what they did.
Yeah.
They even touched down our office in Kisumu. Those are not Kenyans. That was not a peaceful demonstration.
Yeah.
And facts are facts. And I want to say that the police really restrained themselves, because first, they never used any live ammunition. Second, they just used, they were very tactful.
Actually, there's the people who were shot at.
Waliua watu. Not Maseno. Aba Kibra waliua. Toi
Kuna
Makena.
swali mad.
One death has been reported,
Okay.
factually. Okay. But on Li's tweets and handles, there are 10 people. So you can, but factually, one person died, one student died in Maseno. And I want to take this opportunity, first of all, just to say pole for the family.
Okay.
It is quite a pity, and we don't really celebrate a life which has been lost. That student, I'm meant to understand, was supposed to be a teacher. He was supposed to be a teacher to help his family. He comes from a very poor background. It's a pity that the student will be laid to rest. His aspirations will be laid to rest. His vision will be laid to rest, because he was fighting for a cause that he doesn't understand. One, these people who are demonstrating today about high cost of living did not demonstrate when Wunga was at 230 shillings. Now they are demonstrating when it is at 180 shillings. Ask yourself, is it a genuine cause? Because you're supposed to be demonstrating when the prices are very high.
Right.
When Unga was 230 shillings, and I want us to discuss this matter in detail. When Unga was 230 shillings, they are the ones who are in leadership. They handed over government to us when Unga was 230 shillings. When we came in, our president has tried to ensure that the price of Unga goes down. One, by ensuring that he reduces the farm inputs. Fertilizer was going at 7,500 shillings per bag. Now we are selling fertilizer at 3,500 shillings.
Imeshafika kwa ground mwisho.
Yes, and the government has been able, for a record of 6 months, has been able to register more than 5 million farmers into a digital platform that is going to ensure that we disseminate or we distribute fertilizer on a digital platform. Now, second, the government has decided to import foodstuff to ensure that we have enough supply of food in the country. The government has decided to use and remove the subsidy money that was being misappropriated. Last financial year, the handshake regime used 34 billion Kenya shillings, 8 billion per month, to subsidize unga, yet unga was still at 230 shillings. We have removed that subsidy, put it into subsidy of farm inputs, having a sustainable way of ensuring that we reduce the cost of living. And therefore, we are asking our people, kindly, we are only 6 months into office. Even if it was you a lie, you are newly married, by now you need to have gotten a baby. So why are you over ambitious with this government?
I want you to respond to that.
Give us time. Give this government time. We are only implementing the former regime's budget. We haven't even done our budget. The budget that we are implementing is a budget that was done by Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. So they are demonstrating against their own policies.
Such clear people, Robert Eli, surely. Can't you give the government time?
First you have to agree.
See what kuna plan.
Lazima agree.
It's not even a year, sure.
Lazima agree. Nimetumia producer wenu receipt kuonyesha kwamba in July unga ilikuwa 99 bob. Jogo maize meal, the most expensive one, 99 bob.
Which country?
In Kenya, Naivas.
How do we get to 230 then?
230 is because of their policies. They remove the subsidy.
Whose policy?
Whose policy?
At this point, UDA was not in power.
No, but you know they got.
By the time it got into to 230 from 99, we were doing handshake. And that's why even the other day I was talking about the handshake and how some things I agreed with, some things I did not agree with.
Receipt. Bring me a receipt showing that there was a 230 this is July.
No, you see that's
because what was happening is that you were subsidizing unga. They removed the subsidy. They removed the subsidy.
I want you to be factual.
Yes.
We are on a national radio station.
Yes.
The person who removed the subsidy was the then CS for Agriculture. Days before our president was sworn in, Munya removed the subsidy. Check the facts.
President amesema we cannot subsidize consumption.
Wait, which president? Yeah, just a moment.
In fact, Mr. Ruto said
facts are facts. Who removed the subsidy?
Mr. Ruto.
No. Munya, the one who removed the subsidy. But that said and done. Subsidies was just a conduit of getting money out of the government coffers. One, how do you use 8 billion shillings per month to subsidize? Yet that money is going only to the pockets of 4 millers. 4 millers. So 4 people are benefiting 8 billion. You saw the Auditor General's report recently. Stated that 34 billion shillings was used in subsidies. Out of the 34 billion shillings.
When was the period of the audit?
No, just a moment. An Auditor General audits accounts.
For how long? No.
Financial
because
year.
You guys have said mko 6 months.
Exactly.
Hii audit ilifanywa lini?
What you need to know is that an Auditor General audits books of accounts of a government per financial year. And therefore, if 34 billion shillings was used for subsidy, yet nothing was going on, we said we want to take that money and have a sustainable way. We cannot operate a government on a subsidy formula. We need to ensure that we have low cost of farm inputs. We are mechanizing our farming. Like, for example, and this is what makes me wonder, Alai. We've just from experiencing an imminent drought in Kenya. Tumekuwa tukilia hapa. Mambo ya akula chakula, akula nini. Now that the rains have just started 2-3 days ago, Alai and his party leader should be encouraging farmers and young people to go and plant, to go and get the
That's why you give them a holiday, planting holiday.
No, let me ask you about the holiday. Jana, our deputy president, Reggae, alikama kasema, hey man, estimation is that we could have lost 2 billion. So you're saying that it continues for consecutive Mondays up until you get your demands heard. One question is, kama President Ruto hata skiza demands zenyu, then what's the game plan for
The game plan is
Azimio?
to remove him from State House.
How are you going to do that?
You know, there are very many. You know, always people who assure themselves that kao ni wako na nguvu kushinda wengine ndio wanakimbianga, and we have shown the signs of cowardice kwa hii regime. Now, every time they assure us that our Tingishiki, they make the speak. You know, in fact, they radicalize the people who sometimes, if you saw in Muranga, I want you to experience, to ask anybody in Muranga, chenye wanaona ni kwamba watu wengi hawakuenda kazini, lakini wanasema kuko na demonstration huko. Some of the people demonstrated by staying away from work. Some of the people just stayed away from work.
Yeah. So is that a solution to bring down the
because you cannot lead when people don't support you, and you can also not give them policies yenye wewe ndio una decide. Unajua mtu ameanza ati hustler fund. Hii hustler fund haina board, haina leadership. Ati ukitaka kuuliza maswali uliza president. How do you lead a country like that? This is not a country.
Uliza yako iko na board.
Guys, this is hashtag. This is hashtag morning vibes, guys. At Vibes Radio KE, Kevin and Brian. Remember, when it's a stream live, yes, conversation in a go down on our Facebook and YouTube as well. That is at Vibes Radio KE. And appear to part on the website www.vibesradio.co.ke. We're hanging out with the Secretary General of the ruling party, Bwana Malala. And of course, member of the County Assembly, MCA Kileleshwa Robert Alai. Now, I wanted to ask you, Bwana SG, is the president really, is it really our very genuine president? Does he care about the plight of Kenyans, considering the fact that his deputy mazana kwanga na matamshi zingine jo ati talking about Kenya being a company, kuna shareholders, and of course juzi tumecheki akiappoint 50 CASs 50, yet you know very well that the country is broke. Kuna watu wako huko hivyo in the northern part of the country struggling to make ends meet. We also saw the deputy president akidonate 100 million to his school,
former school, yes.
Right on our faces,
and then 800,000 for a party.
You know, these things to many Kenyans, especially mavijana wanasema pana mazi umsi ajali masila yetu. What is your response?
So let me ask you a question. So wewe hutaki Kianyaga ijengwe, Kianyaga school.
100 million ni domob.
100 million.
100 million in this day and age. Don't see wastage of resources.
You know, out of that 100 million, 50 million was the infrastructure fund from the Ministry of Education, which other schools are being given. Kakamega School was given 40 million to do a perimeter wall around it. Butere Girls was given around 45 million.
CDF.
No, there's what we call infrastructure fund in the Ministry of Education.
And planned fund. Planned.
Infrastructure.
Sindio, you need planned.
Yeah, and this fund was introduced by the late our president, the late Kibaki, during the economic stimulus program. Yes. And I like it's good also to be having facts, so that when you come to this show, you have facts. And when I speak as the Secretary General of a ruling party, I speak from a point of information.
Hata nguo yako ijakauka, unajua uko ANC, bado damu yako iko ANC kuzina.
We should have facts. So that money that was given there, and he was very clear that he's giving out 50 billion in the first installment, and then he'll add another 50 billion. The other contributions were personal contributions.
All right.
Personal.
Yeah.
He himself gave out only 3 million shillings.
Yes.
Allah is asking where did the money come from?
Giving back. Okay, if you ask me where did the 3 million come from, you see, uliona juzi aliregeshewa 200 million yake.
Ajabu kutoa 3 million.
Sasa wewe.
Okay, touch on mambo ya CAS.
Mambo ya CAS, you know.
Surely 50 yoni mingi sana.
How many police officers do you have? How many teachers do you have? Do you know the wage bill of Kenya? The 50 CSs, and you see the CS position was formed after public participation was done. The public was involved in that decision. We advertised on all our dailies. People brought in their views as to whether they want the CS position to be there or not, and government operates on how the citizens want it to operate. They gave out, according to our constitution, there is public participation provisions whereby they gave out their views. The Public Service Board interviewed hundreds of citizens, and they came up with a shortlist which they gave the president. The salaries that you are saying that these 50 CSs are getting is only 0.00075% of the budget.
Yeah.
So don't put as if they are coming to eat the entire budget.
How do you have
Second,
3
and then-
CASs in one ministry?
But-
3. It's also in
No,
pointless
no,
positions.
no.
Or is it a reward system?
No. It's CS position.
Yeah.
Is supposed to be a cabinet administrative secretary. You can only be perform your administrative functions in a state department.
Okay.
So the president has put these CSs per state department. You know, you cannot be a CS of transport and roads. You cannot be a CS of sports, culture, and whatever. You need to be to be an administrator of a certain state department. So he gave every CS a state department to be an administrator.
But at the expense or at the cost of the
but
mwananchi.
they are coming to improve the operationalization of government. Yeah, so they are not just coming to sit there and it's
But I guess also what I can ask is, I say some of them have questionable backgrounds, mambo integrity. We can talk about that based on chapter 6 of the Constitution. Now the question is there anything called merit? Do they base these things on merit? Surely, does the president care about that?
They went through an interview.
Yeah.
They were shortlisted.
Yeah.
They went through an interview. Next week, you'll see them in parliament being vetted. We have platforms which have been provided for by our constitution to ensure that if somebody has a problem with chapter 6, then that's the essence of vetting.
Yeah,
So
but
they'll go
the
through
large
vetting.
numbers. Most were worried about the large numbers. The issue was most of the wananchis wanasema hizo numbers ilikuwa by half.
50 ni mob.
Yeah, so 25 to 50 wanaangalia sana expenses because
Efficiency.
Efficiency.
The government is big, so you need enough.
I like what do you think about
At
this?
the expense of
what do you think about the
Kenyans,
CAS?
How much? How much are they? You know, Kenyans need services, and the only way you can serve them, you must have human resource to serve them.
Okay.
And therefore, the president in his wisdom, so that it is prudent enough for us to have one cabinet assistant secretary per state department.
in 20 seconds as a youthful secretary general, before I allow you to put your perspective yako, surely were there even youth in those nominations?
Methuselahs.
Hakuna ma youth. We don't see anyone below 20, below 30. Sorry.
The former
Compared to the previous
Just a
CASs.
moment. The former Secretary General from my former party, Simon Gakuru, is a youth, and he's on that
Only
list.
one, another one.
No, we have several. Like, you are a blogger. You should be.
It should be.
Yeah, you are a blogger. You don't research.
I know they know it's above 40. So tell me, is anyone else?
No, we have so many of and let me tell you one thing.
You know,
it's not about, when you want to empower the youth, it's not about you having a young person in a position. It's about you coming with policies that are going to stimulate the economy and ensuring that we have millions and millions of Kenyans.
Okay.
The president has invested in the housing project.
Yeah, we know that.
Which is going to employ, like the Stare one that he officiated the other day, is going to employ almost 600,000 people.
Yeah.
We are committed to ensure that we give the young people employment opportunities on a large scale platform, not individual.
Fair enough. Alai, quick one. What's your perspective? Your man and CAS positions.
You know, I don't dispute them. Even if we know the government is illegal, we know that. I don't dispute them.
What do you mean the government is illegal?
The government is illegal. They know that they are illegal. They are illegally in power. So, but the 50 CSS is just too much. Way too much. Please. Way too much. And somebody put it into perspective that 50 CSS are going to consume. Have you put all the rewards for that position? And the thing I have a big problem is, even if they put that number, is that this is a position which is supposed to nurture new leaders. It is supposed to mentor them on how government operates so that they become the future cabinet secretaries, the future presidents, future governors, tell them how to operate this thing. But you gave this opportunity to political Methuselahs, the Outas, the Kideros, people whom you say have retired out of this country's service. 50 CSS, if you are to quantify it, they are going to consume 2.5 billion. This 2.5 billion is enough to employ 330 doctors at 250,000 Kenya shillings per month. It is enough to employ 1,100 nurses at 70,000 shillings per month salary for 5 years. How are you going to sustain this if 50 people are going to be? That is beside the money they are going to steal.
But Alai, you're being hypocritical because your party has always been nominating Oburu Odinga to
But
Oburu Odinga, according to Alai, is a very young person.
Alai,
come on.
a political, a representative role is different from this role of ministers and
but he said
a
the same thing
representative role.
about
You can even have a 80. See the US. Anaitwa nani? The speaker just retired at almost 90 years. 80 something. She just retired juzi.
But why is it that when he says the same about representation of the youth, it becomes such a
no, you know, this is a representative role. The role of a senator is to legislate, represent, oversight, and make budget. This is somebody who is going to actually implement these things. The CAS is a different. You nominated an MP. Ongeri just retired juzi. How old is Ongeri? How old is Angwenyi? You are very old.
You nominated MPs in parliament.
They are struggling so much. Tell me they are struggling so much against Baba's will.
Tell me the young
Baba to parliament.
Checky.
Tell me the young senators that ODM nominated.
You see? In Samburu, we have a very young lady there called
Guys, let's stick to the Atuna time.
The same Google that took you to ECD.
Former Senator Malala, let me ask you something. Do you think hustlers okay, two questions. Unadhani serikali may let the hustlers down? Jana tulicheki hustlers wengi. Oh, umesema those are not Kenyans, those are hooligans. I think that's a very insensitive remark from
Looters.
You. Looters. Once again, asema very insensitive. But Swalini, no. But Swalini, do you think? Senator, former senator, do you think hustlers resonate with the plan that serikali iko nayo for them? Do you think they even understand?
You know,
yeah, because just to add on that, there is
I feel like the messaging, it's only a few select UDA followers who do understand. Hustlers are elewi story ya kungoja 6 months, ngoja. Don't understand.
To add on that, the big question would be on taxation. And you wanasema crackdown inafanywa sana huku chini huku. You remember the other day when kwa kina mama and small businesses, small business owners. So that was the conversation and how it went down. So what do you have to say about this? Keeping in mind that the economy is really badly hurt, and watu wanasema ni kama mko out of touch kidogo na what is going on the ground.
One hii economy hatukuipata kama iko mzuri ndio tukasema iko mbaya. Hii economy tumeipata kama iko mbaya sana. Remember when the first day in office, when our president took oath, we only found 99 million in the account. 99 million. Kidogo. Watu walikuwa wamekula serikali yote, walikula kila kitu. That's when you heard that in 26 minutes they were able to misappropriate 15 billion. So the people who took this economy to the ditches ni hawa wakina Alai na handshake na whatever. Now we are only 6 months down the line. We haven't even yet started implementing our manifesto, because we are implementing the budget of 2022-2023 budget ambayo ilikuwa imetengenezwa na Uhuru na Raila. So sisi ndio tumeanza kazi na hustlers wale ambao wako reasonable wajaribu kutusaidia pia sisi tuhakikishe kwamba we are implementing the government policies. One, we launched the Hustler Fund. These guys the following day came and incited their people at your pesa ni abure chukueni musilipe. You know, when you have such mentality and when we have leaders who are not responsible about their flock, that is when a country goes to its lowest. Alai, I want to take this opportunity to ask you to be responsible leaders. When government introduces a policy, encourage your people to benefit from the policy. Mulipiga Hustler Fund. Wale vijana ambao wanasema sahi ati bei ya maisha hakuna kazi, bei ya maisha imeenda juu. Ni wale ambao waliambiwa chukueni Hustler Fund na msilipe. They took the first 500 shillings, 1,000, and we had an intention. It was intentional to put that 500 shillings on the first day. We knew that these people were going to incite their people not to pay. So what we did, tulisema sawa, 500 shillings, watu wote, all the jokers wenye walikuwa kuchukua pesa na wasilipa wakachukua. So if you don't pay, you don't qualify for the next one. So now we've remained with serious people who know, people who can now take the loan, repay, knowing that this is a fund that is supposed to help Kenyans. So I want to urge the ODM brigade, ensure that we put aside our egocentric interests. Because as we speak right now, hii maandamano wanafanya yote hawasaidii wananchi. It's not about mwananchi wa kawaida. And I was even telling Alai at the waiting launch here that hata hii maandamano hata yeye mwenyewe afaidiki, itafaidi tu mtu mmoja, Raila Odinga.
Ndio nilikuwa nataka kujua what is the genuineness of this maandamano.
It is genuine
because one thing we were a little bit confused about what the agenda of the maandamano is, because hata jana walikuwa kipita pale unasikia mara Ruto must go, kidogo unasikia high cost of living, kidogo unasikia hata kidogo ulikuwa unasikia fungua sava. So it was like your message haikuwa clear. In South Africa, one message, Ramaphosa must go. That was the guiding one, and then tied on to the other agendas. So tunataka kujua what is the agenda really, and of course how are the youth plugged in, kwa sababu hii ni station ya my youth. Tunataka kujua my youth uko agenda yenyu ya maandamano, si tuko wapi kwa hiyo hesabu. And Honorable Malala pia nazapenda kujua what's your plan for the youth really, because pia si tunataka kujua, are we going to only be used as a task force ile tu, yani tu ni nguvu tutakuwa natumia kwa grao, ama what's really going to happen to the youth?
Unajua ukisikia chenye umesema vizuri ni kwamba Ruto must go. That is the eventual result we want.
When? Where?
But you know,
he'll go to Bondo
for him to go, we have to tell you reasons why he has to go. Na hizo reason ndio nakwambia kwamba hajafungua sava.
Sava nini?
Kwamba sikiza kwanza, kuwa na upole. Hajafungua sava. Ya pili,
so ndio nauliza demand.
Guys, let her like make his point. Very make his point.
I'm dealing with two Malalas. I'm dealing with two Malalas.
Decorum bana.
Watulie. Wajifunze kutoka kwangu. I'm very patient. Because I can handle both of them. So the two of them, you tell them that you know the cost of living is high. Maisha iko high. Maisha iko very high. So the cost kama unga iko high, unafanyaje? Shilling ndio unaona saizi imena crash. Within a week we have lost almost 10 bob.
So what is your proposal?
Unataka irudi chini. Ruto igo kwanza. Ruto akishaenda tukuje tutengeneze hii uchumi.
Plan.
You see? Tukuje tutengeneze uchumi. Lakini hatuwezi kutengeneza uchumi kama mtu mwenye ako pale ako illegal. Na kwanza hata angekuwa illegal na appoint watu wenye ko competent. Sasa hizi ili uqualify kuingia kwa UDA government lazima ukuwe criminal hardcore. Kwanza unatolewa kwa jela, is like he wants to.
That's not a factual statement.
Ngoja. It's like he wants everybody there. Lazima kuwe na baggage fulani. Kesho akiita wewe anasema unajua ulikuwa na ile kesi ya EACC. So ukicheza hapa nitakuvutia waya.
Lai walisema ukitaka kuingia kwa serikali ya Uhuru paka ukuwe mlevi au ukuwe mwizi. Eventually waliingia. Sasa sijui kama walikuwa walevi na so what you are saying?
But
no, he spoke about servers. Tell us, server gani unataka rais afungue? Rais ako na kifunguo server. It is the mandate of IBC to do that, and we have constitutional provisions. You went to the Supreme Court for a petition. Kenyans watched that. Akuna we did a scrutiny ya ballot papers and everything, the system. We didn't get any evidence. So servers gani unataka wafungue na
unajua hii UDA ili capture hii IBC. Ndio saa hizi tunaambia UDA vile mli capture IBC mkajiannounce results even against, you know, a commission is a commission. A commission has 3 and 4 7 commissioners. These 7 commissioners, 4 said that they don't agree with those results.
All right, guys. So I'm going to open the phone lines in just a bit. Remember, guys, 0719012700. We have our leaders over here. Of course, the Secretary General of the ruling party, Cleophas Malala, Even, of course, member of the County Assembly, MCA Kileleshwa, Robert Alai. 0719012700. In 2 seconds. Are you open for a dialogue with the Raila Amolo Odinga as the ruling party?
We are open for dialogue, which is structural and which is within the constitution. We shall only dialogue if they bring proposals on the floor of the House. We shall dialogue with them. If they bring policy proposals through public participation, we shall dialogue with them. So we are a listening government.
Robert Alai, unataka hiyo dialogue ikuwe in which format? If at all,
hata county assembly
unajua saizi tuliwapatia 14 days to dialogue au kusikiza. Saizi tuko street. So watu tafute.
Nyinyi mtafutwe.
Simu zetu saizi wamekata.
Sasa clearly hapo guys.
Kilimani moms wamepoteza.
0719012700.
Africa Arise Vibes ready.
All right. Tupige simu right about now. Let's talk to Deno Mangu kutoka Meru. Unasemaje Deno? Mambo tuko poa sana. Gotea our leaders na kuna comment ama swali?
Mimi nataka kuuliza hiyo jamaa wa Azimio. Handshake ni nini wanataka bwana? Si hatutaki handshake, watupe time. Serikali iundwe vizuri. 6 months si kitu ya kucomplain. Hata Meru tuliambua Kawira hii siku ni chache sana ya kuanza kucomplain.
Okay, asante sana Dino. Let's talk to Oti kutoka Likoni.
Dada.
Sema bana.
Salama bwana. Salamia waheshimiwa kina Malala na kina Lai hapo na nani Brayo.
Tuko ndani.
Sasa mimi nilikuwa nasema hivi bwana. Kitu cha kwanza, maandamano kwanza haifai kabisa. Maana kwa Kenya kwanza wajui kitu inaitwa maandamano. Watu wanaenda kuharibu vitu vya watu, wanavunja magari ya watu, wanapora mali ya watu. Sasa hiyo inafanya nchi inakuwa pale pabaya. Sasa hivi bwana tuna struggle na uchumi mazao huku chini. Hakuna makazi, biashara zinaharibika. Unajua Mkenya ni mtu akiondoka ndio jioni anarudi na unga anakula. So mimi kwanza ningeadvise watu wa upande wa Azimio kwamba hii maandamano acha nayo mazao. Hii kitu mazao inatudhuru huku chini.
Alright.
Upande wa government nao pia watafute njia vile wanaweza kuja wakazungumza na upande wa upinzani. Kama ni advice Raila wapatie advice bwana. Fanyeni hii na Raila afanye kazi gani kama opposition. Lakini hizi maandamano mazee mimi upande wangu hapana. Hii itaharibu nchi. Huku watu wanaumia bro. Kwanza jana kuna mama alikuja hapa jana kwangu hapa. Akaniambia yeye fanya biashara ya kuuza mahindi. Magari ya kuleta mahindi sasa hivi kuleta huko Mombasa hakuna na yeye hiyo mahindi ndio anategemea katika maisha yake. Sasa hii maandamano mazee inatu affect mazee.
Haya sawa sana. Let's go to Mtwapa. Ni Mtwapa Abubakar.
Oya.
Ni aje guys?
Tuchapie.
Mimi niko poa bwana. Kwanza waheshimiwa hapo Vuche bwana.
Yes.
Sema Vuche.
Vuchere mno kabisa.
Sawa. Mimi bwana niko tu na swali mbili. Swali ya kwanza bwana mheshimiwa Malala nauliza hivi. Kwani nyinyi hamuoni kama tuna ile yenyewe tunaumia? Hiyo maandamano kwa upande wa yenu unaona haiwezi kutusaidia, na kama haiwezi kutusaidia si nyinyi mtusaidie basi. Sasa kila kitu ndio imepanda, iko juu, iko mbaya kabisa.
Okay, asante sana.
Then mheshimiwa Lai nauliza hivi. Hiyo nini mbona hamungepanga kutoka huku mbebe watu kutoka kila kaunti? Si eti kufika alafu anasema Kakamega maandamano iko kwa wapi, maandamano iko mlete basi mbebe kwa wingi, kwa sababu tunalalamika bana, tunaumia.
Abubakar bedhe uko Kakamega muli bado kukost?
Saizi niko kosa. Lakini tunaona Kakamega wao kujitokeza kwa maandamano kwa wingi vile.
Sawa, asante sana. Vibes ready, good morning.
Hello.
Niaje tunaongea na nani?
Sema yule mpole wa Meru.
Okay, comment ama swali?
Mimi nilikuwa nasemaje? Hizo vitu si hadi zimepanda sasa hizi Ruto ameingia kwa kiti. Huyo mzee anajua vile walifanya, vile wafuruga hiyo mambo yote. Na hata wakati Uhuru alikuwa hapo ndio mambo iliharibika kabisa, na ndio unga hadi ilipanda kila kitu. Sasa hizi azingilie serikali.
Okay, sawa. Yeah. Lulu rangi ya jogo kutoka hapa Mukuru.
Ni aje voke.
Poa mazee Lulu, umemkaje uko poa?
Niko fiti, lakini unajua saa zingine nikikaanga hivi nikiona ma leaders wana argue na wakam na agreement. Bado usemanga aje mavijana bado tunataka our own demonstration, unaona?
Right.
Nimekuwa nikisikiza reasoning ya Lai, reasoning ya Malala. Manze vijana tuko kwa shida.
Wow.
Kila mtu anaongelea interest za party yake ama interest za chama yake. Hakuna mtu anaongelea interest za kijana. Unaona? Ile kitu mimi ningependa kuongelea Malala. The moment gava yenu iliingia, ilisema kazi ya mambo na takataka ni watu wajasoma, unaona? Mkatoa kazi ya vijana. Kuzi vijana wako kwa dimanga. Mkatu promise mtakaa mna initiative ya kupanda miti. Siku hizi si ujifanya volunteer, tunapanda miti wenyewe ili hali hakuna support kutoka kwa government. Ile tu kitu nataka tu kuambia Malala, fikishia wale watu wako, waambie aje walipromise kijana, lakini this time round kijana mwenye atakaa kwa street akuji kwa street juu ya interest ya mwanasiasa. Tutakaa kwa street juu ya interest zetu. Mmekuwa mnatukejeli, mnatudanganya na manifesto aziko, ile hali mkishafika pale mnataka kuaward wale watu wenyu despite ya kuangalia mazingira yetu mavijana, unaona?
Okay, asante sana.
Personally Malala ningependa kushukuru juu mimi nimekuwa nikikufuatilia, tournament yako imekuwa ikiinua vijana sana. So that is one support, one positive thing naweza kupea Malala. Good job.
Alright. Twende Othaya. Bama.
Ni aje Kevu.
Fiti maze Bama.
Salimia Alai na Malala.
Tumesalamika.
Haya, sasa mimi naitwa Bama kutoka Othaya. Alai.
Naam.
Acha kudanganya watu. Huko hakuna watu walikosa kwenda kazi.
Wapi?
Sasa si Othaya.
Amesema ndio watu walienda kazi.
Kwani wewe ndio uko kwa kila mtu
Othaya Kisumu.
Sasa mimi nataka tu hii maandamano mimi naambia
years 80 something. She just retired juzi.
But why is it that when he says the same about representation of the youth, it becomes such a
No, you know, this is a representative role. The role of a senator is to legislate, represent, oversight, and make budget. This is somebody who is going to actually implement these things. The CAS is a different. You nominated an MP. Ongeri just retired juzi. How old is Ongeri? How old is Angwenyi? You are very old.
You nominated MPs in parliament.
They are struggling so much. Tell me they are struggling so much. Against Baba's will.
Tell me the young
Baba to
senators.
parliament.
Cheki.
Tell me the young senators that ODM nominated.
You see? In Samburu, we have a very young lady there called
Guys, let's stick to the Atuna time.
The same Google that took you to Isili.
Former Senator Malala, let me ask you something. Do you think hustlers okay, two questions. Unadhani serikali let the hustlers down? Jana tulicheki hustlers wengi. Umesema those are not Kenyans, those are hooligans. I think that's a very insensitive remark from
Looters.
you. Looters. Once again, asema very insensitive. But Swalini, but Swalini, do you Senator, former Senator, do you think hustlers resonate with the plan that serikali iko nayo for them? Do you think they even understand?
You know,
yeah, because just to add on that, there is
I feel like the messaging, it's only a few select UDA followers who do understand. Hustlers are elewi story ya kungoja 6 months, ngoja. Don't understand.
To add on that, the big question would be on taxation. Enye wanasema crackdown inafanywa sana huku chini huku. You remember the other day when kwa kina mama and the small businesses, small business owners. So that was the conversation and how it went down. So what do you have to say about this? Keeping in mind that the economy is really badly hurt, and watu wanasema ni kama mko out of touch kidogo na what is going on the ground.
One hii economy hatukuipata kama iko mzuri ndio tukasema iko mbaya. Hii economy tumeipata kama iko mbaya sana. Remember when the first day in office, when our president took oath, we only found 99 million in the account. 99 million. Kidogo. Hawa watu wamekula serikali yote, walikula kila kitu. That's when you heard that in 26 minutes they were able to misappropriate 15 billion. So the people who took this economy to the ditches ni hawa wakina Alai na handshake na whatever. Now we are only 6 months down the line. We haven't even yet started implementing our manifesto, because we are implementing the budget of 2022-2023 budget ambayo ilikuwa imetengenezwa na Uhuru na Raila. So sisi ndio tumeanza kazi na hustlers wale ambao wako reasonable wajaribu kutusaidia pia sisi tuhakikishe kwamba we are implementing the government policies. One, we launched the Hustler Fund. These guys the following day came and incited their people at your pesa ni ya bure, chukueni musilipe. You know, when you have such mentality and when we have leaders who are not responsible about their flock, that is when a country goes to its lowest. Alai, I want to take this opportunity to ask you to be responsible leaders. When government introduces a policy, encourage your people to benefit from the policy. Mulipiga Hustler Fund. Wale vijana ambao wanasema sahi ati bei ya maisha hakuna kazi, bei ya maisha imeenda juu, ni wale ambao waliambiwa chukueni Hustler Fund na msilipe. They took the first 500 shillings, 1,000, and we had an intention. It was intentional to put that 500 shillings on the first day. We knew that these people were going to incite their people not to pay. So what we did, tulisema sawa, 500 shillings, watu wote, all the jokers wenye walikuwa wanataka kuchukua pesa na wasilipe wakachukua. So if you don't pay, you don't qualify for the next one. So now we've remained with serious people who know, people who can now take the loan, repay, knowing that this is a fund that is supposed to help Kenyans. So I want to urge the ODM brigade, ensure that we put aside our egocentric interests. Because as we speak right now, hii maandamano wanafanya yote hawasaidii wananchi. It's not about mwananchi wa kawaida. And I was even telling Alai at the waiting launch here that hata hii maandamano hata yeye mwenyewe afaidiki, itafaidi tu mtu mmoja, Raila Odinga.
Ndio nilikuwa nataka kujua what is the genuineness of this maandamano.
It is genuine
because one thing we were a little bit confused about what the agenda of the maandamano is, because hata jana walikuwa kipita pale unasikia mara Ruto must go, kidogo unasikia high cost of living, kidogo unasikia hata kidogo ulikuwa unasikia fungua sava. So it was like your message haikuwa clear. In South Africa, one message, Ramaphosa must go. That was the guiding one, and then tied on to the other agendas. So tunataka kujua what is the agenda really, and of course how are the youth plugged in, sababu hii ni station ya youth. Tunataka kujua youth uko agenda yenyu ya maandamano, si tuko wapi kwa hiyo hesabu. And Honorable Malala pia nazapenda kujua what's your plan for the youth really, because pia si tunataka kujua, are we going to only be used as a task force ile tu, yani tu ni nguvu tutakuwa tunatumia kwa grao, ama what's really going to happen to the youth?
Unajua ukisikia chenye umesema vizuri ni kwamba Ruto must go. That is the eventual result we want.
When? Where?
But you know,
he'll go to Bondo
for him to go, we have to tell you reasons why he has to go. Na hizo reason ndio nakwambia kwamba hajafungua sava.
Sava nini?
Kwamba sikiza kwanza, kwa na upole. Hajafungua sava. Ya pili,
so ndio nauliza demand.
Guys, let her like make his point. Let him make his point.
I'm dealing with two Malalas. I'm dealing with two Malalas.
Decorum bana.
Watulie. Wajifunze kutoka kwangu. I'm very patient. Because I can handle both of them. So the two of them, you tell them that, you know, the cost of living is high. Maisha iko high. Maisha iko very high. So the cost, kama unga iko high, unafanyaje? Shilling ndio unaona saizi imena crash. Within a week, we have lost almost 10 bob.
So what is your proposal?
Ruto igo kwanza. Ruto akishaenda, tukuje tutengeneze hiyo uchumi.
Definite plan.
You see? Tukuje tutengeneze uchumi. Lakini hatuwezi kutengeneza uchumi kama mtu mwenye ako pale ako illegal. Na kwanza hata angekuwa illegal na appoint watu wenye kwa competent. Saizi ili uqualify kuingia kwa UDA government lazima ukuwe criminal hardcore. Kwanza unatolewa kwa jela, is like he wants to.
That's not a factual statement.
Ngoja. It's like he wants everybody there. Lazima kuwe na baggage fulani. Kesho akiita wewe anasema unajua ulikuwa na ile kesi ya EACC. So ukicheza hapa nitakuvutia waya.
Sema lai walisema ukitaka kuingia kwa serikali ya Uhuru paka ukuwe mlevi, paka ukuwe mwizi. Eventually waliingia. Sasa sijui kama walikuwa walevi na so what you are saying?
But honestly,
no, he spoke about servers. Tell us, server gani unataka rais afungue? Rais ako na kifunguo server. It is the mandate of IBC to do that, and we have constitutional provisions. You went to the Supreme Court for a petition. Kenyans watched that. Akuna we did a scrutiny ya ballot papers and everything, the system. We didn't get any evidence. So servers gani unataka wafungue na
unajua hii UDA ili capture hii IBC. Ndio saizi tunaambia UDA vile mli capture IBC mkajianaunsia results even against, you know, a commission is a commission. A commission has 3 and 4, 7 commissioners. These 7 commissioners, 4 said that they don't agree with those results.
Alright guys, so I'm going to open the phone lines in just a bit. Remember guys, ni 0719012700. We have our leaders over here. Of course, the Secretary General of the ruling party, Cleophas Malala, and of course, member of the County Assembly, MCA Kileleshwa, Robert Alai. 0719012700. In 2 seconds, are you open for a dialogue with the Raila Amolo Odinga as the ruling party?
We are open for dialogue, which is structural and which is within the constitution. We shall only dialogue if they bring proposals on the floor of the house. We shall dialogue with them. If they bring policy proposals through public participation, we shall dialogue with them. So we are a listening government.
Robert Alai, unataka hiyo dialogue ikuwe in which format? if at all
hata county assembly unaweza.
Unajua saizi tuliwapatia 14 days to dialogue. Hawakosikiza. Saizi tuko street. So watu tafute.
Nyinyi mtafutwe.
Simu zetu saizi wamekata.
Sasa sikilieni hapo guys.
Kilimani Mams wamepoteza.
0712-700.
Africa Arise Vibes Radio.
All right. Tupige simu right about now. Let's talk to Deno Mangu kutoka Meru. Unasemaje Deno? Mambo tuko poa sana. Gotea our leaders na kuna comment ama swali?
Mimi nataka kuuliza hiyo jamaa wa Azimio. Handshake ni nini wanataka bwana? Si hatutaki handshake, watupe time. Serikali iundwe vizuri. 6 months si kitu ya kucomplain. Hata Meru tuliambua Kawira hii siku ni chache sana ya kuanza kucomplain.
Okay, asante sana Deno. Let's talk to Oti kutoka Likoni.
Tada.
Sema bana.
Salama bwana. Salamia waheshimiwa kina Malala na kina Lai hapo na nani Brayo.
Tuko ndani.
Sasa mimi nilikuwa nasema hivi bwana. Kitu cha kwanza, maandamano kwanza haifai kabisa. Maana kwa Kenya kwanza wajui kitu inaitwa maandamano. Watu wanaenda kuharibu vitu vya watu, wanavunja magari ya watu, wanapora mali ya watu. Sasa hiyo inafanya nchi inakuwa pale pabaya. Sasa hivi bwana tuna struggle na uchumi mazee huku chini. Hakuna makazi, biashara zinaharibika. Unajua Mkenya ni mtu akiondoka ndio jioni anarudi na unga anakula. So mimi kwanza ningeadvise watu wa upande wa Azimio kwamba hii maandamano achana nayo mazee. Hii kitu mazee inatudhuru huku chini. Upande wa government nao pia watafute njia vile wanaweza kuja wakazungumza na upande wa upinzani. Kama ni advice Raila wapatie advice bwana. Fanyeni hii na Raila afanye kazi gani kama position. Lakini hizi maandamano mazee mimi upande wangu hapana. Hii itaharibu nchi. Huku watu wanaumia bro. Kwanza jana kuna mama alikuja hapa jana kwangu hapa. Akanambia yeye fanya biashara ya kuuza mahindi. Magari ya kuleta mahindi sasa hivi kuleta huko Mombasa hakuna na yeye hiyo mahindi ndio anategemea katika maisha yake. Sasa hii maandamano mazee inatu affect mazee.
Haya sawa sana. Let's go to Mtwapa. Ni Mtwapa Abubakar.
Oya.
Ni aje guys?
Tuchapie.
Mimi niko poa bwana. Kwanza waheshimiwa hapo Vuche bwana.
Sema Vuche.
Vuche mno kabisa.
Sawa. Mimi bwana niko tu na swali mbili. Swali ya kwanza bwana mheshimiwa Malala nauliza hivi. Kwani nyinyi hamuoni kama tuna ile yenyewe tunaumia? Hiyo maandamano kwa upande wa yenu unaona haiwezi kutusaidia, na kama haiwezi kutusaidia si nyinyi mtusaidie basi. Sasa hii kila kitu ndio imepanda, iko juu, iko mbaya kabisa.
Okay, asante sana.
Then mheshimiwa Lai nauliza hivi. Hiyo nini mbona hamungepanga kutoka huku mbebe watu kutoka kila kaunti? Si eti kufika alafu wanasema Kakamega maandamano iko kwa wapi, maandamano iko mlete basi mbebe kwa wingi, kwa sababu tunalalamika bana, tunaumia.
Abubakar bedhe uko Kakamega muli bado kukost?
Saizi niko coast, lakini tunaona Kakamega wao kujitokeza kwa maandamano kwa wingi vile.
Sawa, asante sana. Vibes ready, good morning.
Hello.
Niaje tunaongea na nani?
Sema yule mpole wa Meru.
Okay, comment ama swali?
Mimi nilikuwa nasemaje? Hizo vitu si hadi zimepanda sasa hizi Ruto ameingia kwa kiti. Huyo mzee anajua vile walifanya, vile wafuruga hiyo mambo yote. Na hata wakati Uhuru alikuwa hapo ndio mambo iliharibika kabisa, na ndio unga hadi ilipanda kila kitu. Sasa hizi haziingilii serikali.
Okay, sawa. Lulu rangi ya jogo kutoka hapa Mukuru.
Ni aje voke.
Poa mazee Lulu, umemkaje uko poa?
Niko fiti, lakini unajua saa zingine mi nikikaanga hivi nikiona ma leaders wana argue na wakam na agreement. Bado usemanga aje mavijana bado tunataka our own demonstration, unaona?
Right.
Nimekuwa nikisikiza reasoning ya Lai, reasoning ya Malala. Manze vijana tuko kwa shida.
Wow.
Kila mtu anaongelea interest za party yake ama interest za chama yake. Hakuna mtu anaongelea interest za kijana. Unaona? Ile kitu mimi ningependa kuongelea Malala. The moment gava yenu iliingia, ilisema kazi ya mambo na takataka ni watu wajasoma, unaona? Mkatoa kazi ya vijana. Kuzi vijana wako kwa dimanga. Mkatu promise mtakaa mna initiative ya kupanda miti. Siku hizi si ujifanya volunteer, tunapanda miti wenyewe ili hali hakuna support kutoka kwa government. Ile tu kitu nataka tu kuambia Malala, fikishia wale watu wako, waambie aje walipromise kijana, lakini this time round kijana mwenye atakam kwa street akuji kwa street juu ya interest ya mwanasiasa. Tutakam kwa street juu ya interest zetu. Mmekuwa mnatukejeli, mnatudanganya na manifesto aziko, ile hali mkishafika pale mnataka kuaward wale watu wenyu despite ya kuangalia mazingira yetu mavijana, unaona?
Okay, asante sana.
Personally, Malala, ningependa kushukuru juu mimi nimekuwa nikikufuatilia, tournament yako imekuwa ikiinua vijana sana. So that is one support, one positive thing naweza kupea. Malala, good job.
Alright. Twende Othaya, Bama.
Ni aje Kevu?
Fiti maze Bama.
Salimia Alai na Malala.
Tumesalamika.
Haya, sasa mimi naitwa Bama kutoka Othaya. Alai.
Naam.
Acha kudanganya watu. Huko hakuna watu walikosa kwenda kazi.
Wapi?
Sasa si Othaya.
Amesema ndio watu walienda kazi.
Kwani wewe ndio uko kwa kila mtu
Othaya Kisumu.
Sasa mimi nataka tu hii maandamano mimi naambia Malala.
Yes.
Wakanyangia hapo kazi wafanye.
Yes.
Na hakuna handshake. Handshake tunajua mahali tatuelekeza. Juu serikali inataka oversight. Na ukiangalia kama hata hii side yetu sisi bado tutakriticize serikali. Kama unakumbuka ile maandamano tulikuwa nayo juzi wakati watu wa Nyamakema. Hakuna mwanasiasa. Uliona mwanasiasa hapo akiongoza hiyo maandamano? Ni wananchi wenyewe. Juu kuna chenye walikuwa wanatetea mali yao. Lakini maandamano mengine ni ya siasa. Kuna mtu anatafuta kitu na tunajua hivyo, na kuna wenye wanamsponsor.
Alright, asante sana.
Poa.
Big up. And finally take one more call. Na Manadrilla, please tukuwe na respect. Tuko na wazito hapa, we have our leaders, so vile tunabonga kwa viti.
Ati respect.
Respect bana.
Ai, lakini sasa respect na hata wenyewe ni waongo.
Wamekudanganya wapi? Hebu tuchapie. Tuko fiti, tuchapie.
Poa Manadrilla, unasemaje?
Bona yego na ignition. Ambia ndo madamu wacheni kutubeba mafala, unaona? Sisi wasiatikitia sisi wajinga bwana. Pesa ya gavana wanakula, unaona? Alulu amesema hapo nyuma ujamaa amekuwa na matona, si ndo? Nani huyo kijana hapo kando anaitwa nani?
Ule nani ilikuwa Bama. Zizi Alulu.
Huyo wa UDA anaitwa
Honorable Cleophas Malala.
Bana. O jamaa lakini anatusoma. Mwanasikia bila muongea hapo nyuma na madharau. Ati Gachagua pesa alitoa ni personal. Hiyo ni pesa ya serikali. Wachini kutubeba mafala.
Alright, asante sana. That's about it, man. Cheki, what we'll do, nenda kucheza ngoma moja, tumalizane na this hour, and then in the next hour, tutapatia give you a chance to answer, multiply to all these concerns, and your parting shots. It's 7:57 right about now. #morning vibes. You're hanging out with Kevin and Brian. Good morning, twende kazi. Ilikuwa MVP report.
Start your day the MVP way.
Kevin Mutara, your local energy provider.
And of course with me, Brian, I say
Rise and shine to positive vibes with the MVPs.
This girl, she's out here complaining at her husband's wife.
Say that again.
Literally, her boyfriend is basically someone's husband. Nairobi ni crazy. It's a big bedroom.
Get your fix of conscious talk, personalities, and the hottest reggae vibes.
And of course, you're going to be having some of the greatest conversations right here. Great laughter. Now, of course, mziki kuruka.
Know what's hot and what's not with the MVPs.
Only on #morning vibes with Kevin and Brian.
Every day of the week, 6 to 10 a.m. Only on Vibes Radio.
Yeah man. 7 minutes after 8. Aseli, uko sawa?
Mimi niko fresh.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Your conversation imekuwa noma buda, and I'm loving the energy engagement hapo online. Tutasoma hizo comments by the way.
No stone unturned.
Yes.
No stone unturned. Sahi tu walikuwa wameuliza maswali kadhaa hapa hivi. Watu wanasema hakuna handshake alai, hawataki handshake.
Hatutaki handshake sisi. Hatutaki handshake.
Wanasema
handshake haiko, hatutaki. Hatutaki handshake. This is not about Raila. This is not about Raila. This is not about the leaders. They have a salary. Raila is very much okay. He's wealthy. I can tell you for a fact he's not somebody who's sleeping hungry. It is for you.
It is for you.
It is for you.
Yes,
the day you'll feel the pinch is the day Raila will get out of this world.
Yeah, maandamano people are still waiting and asking what's the way forward really. And we had mixed reactions. Wengine wanasema hii maandamano inafaa kukua because it's actually bringing forth the plight of the youth. My youth man wana get kusikika. But then wengine wanasema it's not helping the economy. Chalo alisema haisaidii economy.
OT.
Ni OT. OT alisema haisaidii economy. What do you have to say about that?
inasaidia economy. Unajua sasa kuna youth lazima understand kwamba economy inasaidika in the long run, kwamba tuna fight vitu viende cheap, vikue cheaper vile saizi ziko 230 shillings for the unga sio vizuri saizi. Umeona saizi hata wakisema kwamba umeitoa 230 iko 217 220 is still very bad. Get it below that. Lakini in the next 3-4 months bei ya vitu zita double because the shilling is crashing.
But is it an issue in inflation globally? Kwa sababu dola iko affected kila mahali, si Kenya peke yake.
No. If you go to Tanzania, the Tanzania shilling is not crashing. If you go to Uganda, the Uganda shilling is not crashing. It is not so the shilling against the dollar is already struggling. It means next months, if the things are going to cost, you may talk 100 bob, Ruto akiingia kwa power. Saizi ni 145, 150. Inamaanisha things are going to be 1.5 shillings, 1.5 times more. Yeah? Kama kitu ulikuwa unanunua 100 bob, itakuwa 150. Kama ulikuwa unanunua gari 3 million, itakuwa 4.5 million. Yeah? They are going to be more expensive. Right. So, because we are importing most of the things. So we have to look at that. This is for the future. They also have to stabilize the shilling. And if they don't stabilize the shilling, we have to take them out of the state house.
Bwana SG, there are two people walikuwa wanauliza similar questions. Abubakar na Alulu Rangejo kutoka hapa hivi. Alulu Rangejo go kutoka Mukuru. Alikuwa anasema when you guys get into those positions of power, mazi sasa imekuwa tu about awarding people, mnasahau mavijana. And then there's also history ya alisema unafanya kitu poa by the recommend history ya Malala Cup. We start with Malala Cup by the mmefika up what's the situation?
On 5th of May.
Okay.
I'll be launching the Cleo Malala Cup, I think the 5th edition. And this time round we're going to open up to the 5 counties of Western region.
Right.
We're going to do the Malala Cup in 38 constituencies. The winner is going to get 3 million shillings. Number 2 is going to get 2 million. Number 3 is going to get 1.5. We're going to give more than 1,000 teams with football apparel.
Okay.
We're going to ensure that we give them a platform so that they can they can showcase their talent. We're going to bring in scouts to ensure that they identify talent.
Nice.
So that we just expose the youth. And it has always been my passion to ensure that we empower the Kenyan youth. In the same breath, our government is also introducing the bottom-up tournament. Countrywide tournament.
What?
Bottom-up.
On your ball?
Yes. Alai ongea toka Ugunja. Ongea toka Ugunja waanze hiyo mpira inakuja. And the president is very keen about him ensuring that he nurtures talent. Recently you saw he appointed the Talanta Hela board, which is now looking into those matters. The Ministry of Sports, led by Honorable Babu Namwamba, is keen to ensure that vijana wamekuza talanta yao na talanta yao imewalipa pesa. Sio kucheza tu. We want to see many of the Marigas going out, many of the Wanyamas going out, or Liech, so that they start earning from their talent. That's said and done. Where yule ndugu yangu ambaye alisema kwamba kazi za vijana we promise a lot of work kwa vijana. Ningependa kuambia ndugu yangu kwamba it is true, we first of all appreciate kwamba bei ya maisha imeenda juu. Hata mimi bei ya maisha ninaifeel. Bei ya mafuta, bei ya maisha imeenda juu kabisa. But we are working. Serikali inajaribu sana. Bei ya maisha imeenda juu dunia nzima. Ni uongo kwamba Alaya anawaambia kwamba Tanzania, shilingi ya Tanzania iko chini. Ukiangalia shilingi ya Kenya is stronger 20 times more than ya Tanzania. 1 Kenya shilling is 20 shillings ya Tanzania. Alafu kwa Uganda 1 Kenya shillings is around 29 shillings ya Uganda. So the Kenyan shilling is much stronger, 20 times or 29 times compared to Tanzania and Uganda respectively. So watu wakuwe na patience. Sababu ukisikia Alaya anasema kwamba the cost of living is going to rise in the next 1 or 2 months. Yes, if you don't have a government that cares, it will rise because ni ukweli the dollar has been affected. Now importation of goods, for example, from outside Kenya is going to go out. If the dollar goes out, bei ya kuimport mahindi, bei ya kuimport sukari itaenda kwenda juu kabisa. But the government has given a window ya kuimport mahindi na wametoa tax yote. So we are trying to balance. Dola ikienda juu, si tunapunguza ushuru hapa so that at least chakula ikuje kwa bei nafuu. So we are telling people to exercise patience, to also pray to God so that he gives our leader William Ruto wisdom to ensure that he leads this country. This country requires prayers. This country requires commitment. This country does not require mandamano.
Are you a prayerful man?
Very prayerful. Very. Ask Brian. Before I engage in any activity, I must pray.
The reason nakuuliza ni then why would you have to use words like hooligans, nini? Those are not Kenyans. It seems as if, especially you as a leader.
Yes, I've said, and it is true.
Unaita vijana
hivyo. It is true. Vijana wale ambao walichoma. Wacha nikwambie, hakuna synonym ya hooligan. Mwizi ni mwizi. Yule wale watu walienda kuchoma mali. Just a minute. Kuchoma ofisi ya UDA kule Kisumu. Are they catechists? They're not.
I guess
those people were
just airing their grievances
through burning, through torching property. Second, uliona wale vijana ambao walianza kuchimbua barabara, kuchimbua barabara, lami ambaye serikali inatumia pesa kuweka, wewe unachimbua barabara, hata wewe mwenyewe barabara inakusaidia kwenda kwa unatoa. Those are people who are categorized as looters, and they should be arrested. Because wewe mtu amehustle ameunda boutique yake mzuri hapo, unaenda kubomoa, unachukua nguo zake. Uliona yule ati president wa bunge la wananchi akiambia watu ati kwamba ati kama uko na duka yote town tutakuja kunywa maji yako, tunaenda come on, we cannot entertain such kind of impunity. Hata kama wewe ni kijana na wewe ni mwizi, hiyo ni tabia mbaya, and it's my responsibility to tell you as a leader that you are not supposed to steal, you are not supposed to you are supposed to follow the rules of the land.
In 20 seconds, we're going through a crisis as a country, and as nataka kupatia chance ya kupatia ma youth party shot. This is a youthful station, and we usually give each other a lot of motivation. Mavijana ni wanna go through so much apathy, mental health issues. What do you have to tell them, Robert Eli, as a leader?
I wish the government would focus more on creating jobs, because sio kila mtu atafanya kazi kwa affordable housing. I wish wangeenda chini wafanye digital villages so that youth creative talents zao zikuwe exploited. We produce more flacos, you explore your creative skills, you do programming, we create more people who can develop platforms like eCitizen. They earn millions and millions and millions. Empowerment isikuwe ni border. Hii border naambianga watu kwamba hii border ukiona uko nje India na China ni 30,000 peke yake. Ikifika hapa Kenya ni from 120 to 150 cash. Lakini ukinunua on credit is 240 to 400,000 cash. Uwezi kulipa hiyo pesa in 1 year. Vile unapewa hiyo time. Naomba hii government vile iko bado wako kwa seat, the short time they're going to be there, please create opportunity ya kuempower these people. Because if you don't empower the youth, if you cheat them only with border and football cups, nini easy, wacha tona iwezi kupatia do easy, wachana na easy, tutafute kitu hao watu watupatie opportunity, wa open up for teachers, wa open up for doctors, badala kuweka 50 CSS, wange employ 500 nurses.
Okay,
1,000 nurses.
Fair enough. Bwana SG, party short for the youth. Give them something to go home with.
3 months down the line, when we got into power, we employed 30,000 teachers. You know that, Alai. Fact. Now, hii kitu yangu nafinya hii ya laptop. Research. Wacha kukaa tu hapa na unasema we have employed 30,000 teachers. What you are saying is that we understand that the cost of living is very high. We live in this country. We are not blind, but we want to ask young people that government cannot do everything for you, and it's good to tell people the truth. Ya kwamba serikali haiwezi kufanyia kila kitu. Paka tujitoe, paka tujitume sisi kama vijana. Usikae tu hapo na ngoja ati sasa vile umeamka asubuhi jioni serikali itakuletea chakula. La, watu paka wajitume. This country we experiencing shortage of food because tumetoka kwa ile henzi za kusema kwamba hii Kenya inafaa watu waende waamke asubuhi waende walime. I remember when I was growing up, we had radio stations programs asubuhi zina wimbo inakuamsha kwenda kupanda, kulima, na kuambia watu wetu ujenzi wa taifa. Nowadays we don't have such programs encouraging the youth. So I also want to challenge the media.
Yes.
Let them not focus on negativity.
Okay.
Let them focus.
But your government station,
let them focus, KBC. And KBC is doing very well on that. So, and you know that, like research. What we need to do is we need to encourage our youth. Kama sasa hivi chakula ambayo inafaa tukule, bei ya unga itashuka chini kama tutapanda.
Yes.
Sasa hii mvua inanyesha. Badala sasa sisi tuende tupande, tumechukua vijana wetu tumewapeleka maandamano. Ningependa kuambia vijana leo, mkitaka bei ya unga ishuke, kwa sababu serikali haileti unga. Mkitaka bei ya chakula ishuke, amka asubuhi, wacha kwenda kwa maandamano, enda panda. utavuna ulichopanda.
Alright.
Kama mtapoteza wakati kwenda maandamano na kurusha mawe, bado bei ya unga itabaki hapo juu na ni wewe utaendelea kuumia. So mimi ningependa kuambia vijana tusitumike vibaya. Let us come out of our cocoons. Tujikaze, tujitume, tu hustle. Maisha sio rahisi. Kila mtu ana hustle. Hata wale watu ambao wanaishi Amerika wana hustle. So life is hard everywhere. So watu wasitumike vibaya, waanze kuwa insight kwamba serikali inawaonea, serikali sio mzuri. The government has got so many opportunities for the youth. Come closer to the government. Don't antagonize the government, because once you antagonize the person who is supposed to give you, he will shy away. So mimi ningependa kuomba watu wakuje kwa serikali, tufanye kazi pamoja, waache kusikia wale watu wa kuyo insight kila sana kuwaregesha chini. Mwisho ya kuuliza ndugu yangu Alai. Sasa vile mliandamana jana, bei ya unga imeshuka.
Itashuka.
Sasa inasaidia nini?
#morning vibes. Thank you so much our leaders, to appreciate mazee, endeleeni yani kufanya kazi tunafanya, and I'm sure Kenya has a bright future. Imekuwa fiti sana Seli. Right now
it doesn't end now.
Yeah, it doesn't end.
Still have conversations coming in the next hour. We still have a lot of things to say.
This hour actually. Kuna Kosu president Anthony Manyara, and of course UDA Youth League leader, and it was one of the leaders actually, not the leader per se. Anaitwa Babu. We'll be talking about that. Mambo ya comrades na maandamano. Comrades na maandamano. What's the deal? Good morning Kenya, 90 minutes after 8.